NMLS.com/Android for full terms and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Welcome back, everybody, to the PM Show. It's the Fred Dryer edition. Fred?
Number one.
Knows how to solve a problem. Knows how to get things done.
Has a plan for America.
Betty does.
He's the one.
He is the one. Yes, sir. He is the one. Thank you very much, Tom. You know, Paul, Herman Cain's resurgence here is really interesting to me. And, as we said at the top of the show, here's a guy that is it has a big task ahead of him, and that is he's now going to have to get the base's attention. And it's important right now, as we get into the end of 11, to gain momentum into the first of the year. And when March and April come along, when people start to really say, okay, who's going to be our guy? It's really going to be interesting to see who is left standing and try to really understand who these candidates are. You know, I've got a couple of things here on Herman Cain, and I don't know if people really realize this, but I'll just give you a couple of sketches of him as we go through the show. I don't want to belabor this, but he has a bachelor's degree in mathematics, a master's degree in computer science, a mathematician for the Navy, where he worked on missile ballistics, making him officially a rocket scientist. He was the computer systems analyst for Coca-Cola, VP of Corporate Data Systems and Services for Pillsbury. Now, this is at the top of the ladder of the computer world, for being in charge of information of a major corporation. Those are just some of the things that we want you to sit with as we go forward here. But Herman is a very interesting candidate. You like Herman, don't you?
Yeah, one thing I got to mention, that unless people are watching us here on our CRN Digital Talk, through our Digital Talk chat room, and watching us live as we do the program here each Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, Herman Cain seems to put a smile on your face.
Herman does, because he goes right at, I think, what every other Republican politician and candidate is afraid of, and that is sound bites. He's not intimidated by sound bites. He goes right at them like Ronald Reagan did. He's got great character, and he understands and knows himself very well, and he's not afraid to lose. He's not going to put losing and winning in front of who he is or what he actually believes. The whole thing about the Republicans, the Republican Party, is they don't want another Ronald Reagan because he was so strong. He was the Republican Party. They don't want anybody else like that. So what they're doing is Karl Rove came in and took George Bush and this compassionate conservative crap that led us into this mess and brought us across the center line to the left of center. Well, the left went extreme left at that time, and now the conversation in America is between left of center and extreme left. So what Herman Cain wants to do is tell the base, in order to get the country back, you got to go back across the center line. You got to go back to right of center, and that just so happens to be where the Constitution is. And so he's not afraid to do that. He's not afraid to get beat up with sound bites, And we have another sound bite here that I think you'll find very interesting, that I really love. Tommy, number 2.
Many African Americans have been brainwashed into not being open-minded, not even considering a conservative point of view. I have received some of that same vitriol simply because I am running for the Republican nomination as a conservative. So it's just brainwashing and people not being open-minded, pure and simple.
You see, what's really good here, Paul, is that you're not getting many Republican candidates or politicians saying that.
He's very easy to understand, too.
Well, it's common sense. And that's the best way to diffuse all this liberal progressivism, and that is to go at it with common sense and reason. And he has that. He has that. Believe me, he's not afraid. This guy. I guarantee you, between now and the end of the first quarter of 12, this guy is going to really start to come on, and he's going to get people to not be afraid to say, you know something, we had the right idea 3 years ago to put a black guy in the White House. This is the guy you want to put in the White House.
It seems when he first entered the field that he wasn't taken very seriously, but obviously as time has progressed and there's still a lot of time to come, it seems that it's inevitable that he's going to be given a lot of concentration at the big look.
Well, Rick Perry's on his way out, and we'll cover him a little bit later on in the second half of the show.
He got into a little hot water that they actually tried to draw Herman Cain into the mix.
Yeah, no, they really did, what we're really going to see now, I think, is the flowering and the unfolding. But there's always going to be people, and the left, like I say, a part of this television, part of this broadcast today is aimed at what Herman Cain's up against, and this is just a part of what he's up against. Tom, number 3.
And Herman Cain is is probably well liked by some of the Republicans because it hides the racist elements of the Republican Party, conservative movement, and Tea Party movement, one and the same. People like Karl Rove like to keep the racism very covert. And so Herman Cain provides this great opportunity so that you can say, look, this is not a racist, anti-immigrant, anti-female,
we have Herb over here.
Anti-gay movement. Look, we have a black man.
We got Harry over here.
That was Janine Garofalo. Do you really understand how offensively stupid this person is?
It sounded like they were trying to be somewhat caustic in their comments.
Well, they're trying like hell to be sincere about selling you a bad car. It is clear that this car has no wheels on it, doesn't have a motor or a paint job, and they're telling you that you should buy this. And they're bad liars. They're stupid and ignorant within their own politic. And this woman, of anybody that I've ever heard, she is criminally insane.
They were being kind of flippant, too. I don't think they were actually giving any consideration to the candidate itself.
Well, I do believe that's part of the politic, the flippant, arrogant, smug arrogance that permeates. And wasn't that Keith Olbermann in the background?
Could that have been Keith Olbermann? Can we...
Yeah.
Do we need to hear that again?
Get it again, Tom.
And Herman Cain is probably well liked by some of the Republicans because it hides the racist elements of the Republican Party, conservative movement, and Tea Party movement, one and the same. People like Karl Rove like to keep the racism very covert. And so Herman Cain provides this great opportunity so that you can say, look, this is not a racist, anti-immigrant, anti-female,
we have Herb over here.
Anti-gay movement. Look, we have a black man.
We got Harry over here.
Oh, he's an idiot. This guy is such a jackass. It's unbelievable. It's ineffable, the stupidity of these people trying to sell America on a failed politic. The very politic that is destroying the rest of the Western world. And they're selling it to us. But there's still certainly more to come here. Paul Stern is with me, strapped in, helping me dive bomb the pernicious peddlers of the pornographic politic. And what we really want to do is come back and really hit this more. So don't go away. This is the Fred Dreyer Radio Show.